I gotta hear your take on this, Michael. Trump has federalized the Metro Police because of crime. Your thoughts?
Absolute fucking insanity.
Can't help myself with these videos. It's all I've fucking found myself watching this last couple of days. Insane takes on what a lot of these people have got to say about Trump calling in the National Guard onto DC. And I'm sure that guy was recognizable. Michael fucking Fanone. You need a little reminder?
Shown to my colleagues is disgraceful.
Right now, one of those parties has a cancer, and we got to cut it out.
Individuals in the crowd that, that helped me or try to offer some assistance. And I think kind of the conclusion I've come to is thank you, but you for being there.
Now in studio is Michael Fanone, former DC Metropolitan Police officer, Courage for America council member, and author of Hold the Line, The Insurrection and One Cop's Battle for America's Soul. Officer Fanone, I'm going to try to get through this. Thank you for what you did 3 years ago today. Please tell me your thoughts on this third anniversary.
Nobody gives a fuck. Michael Fanone. Disgraceful.
Is disgraceful.
Disgraceful. Bro, he was having that motherfucking conversation with the MSNBC, yo, 3 fucking years later, and yo holding back tears.
Thank you for what you did 3 years.
Motherfucker wasn't even involved in it. Old clown Michael couldn't even look at him.
Thank you for what you did 3 years.
Even the fakest of fake Michael Fanone knew that's a fucking bit much. I fucking ended up on this goddamn interview with Michael Fanone, ex-fucking DC police, who said to people who were potentially trying to help him in the ruckus that was January 6th, thank you, but fuck you.
Thank you, but you.
That's a bit rich. Then again, I kind of tend to feel a little differently about January 6th than half the country really does. You really need to hear Michael Fanone and whoever the fuck this big, long, red-bearded looking motherfucker is. So, without further ado, and for the first time in almost 100 videos, roll the fucking intro.
Frankly, I love his voice. I love his accent. I love his vibe. I mean, I'm probably not going to like what he has to say, but he's definitely got an energy about him.
When I watched the press conference, which in and of itself was particularly insane, even for a Donald Trump press conference.
Right.
The justification here was Trump cherry-picking statistics, many of which were from multiple years ago. I mean, you heard him talk about the homicide rate in 2023. Well, if you're just now deploying National Guard troops and federalizing the Metropolitan Police Department to combat homicide rate from 2 years ago, you're a little late, motherfucker.
Cherry-picking.
Cherry-picking.
Yo said cherry-picking stats from a couple of years ago. Coming from the cop, who'd I'd expect to understand a lot of this stuff. We're in 2025. We're not going to have, the most up-to-date minute numbers of 2025. They're usually quoted 2 years out. Not always like the year before. Cherry-picking? Cherry-picking, though, Mike Fanone? I know this dude hates Trump. You've known that since 2021. Dude has been on a rampage. That's not cherry-picking. And it's about time somebody's doing something. Because while nobody does anything, actual people become victims to violent crime and horrendous conditions that nobody seems to give a fuck about. Case in point, Michael fucking Fanone here.
The statistics are showing a sharp decline in violent crime across the board. Let's just call it what it is, man. At the end of the day, it's Trump going after targeting a democratically run city, a city that was very combative with him during his first administration.
Why would a democratic administration be combative against Trump, huh? I'm sure it's no political bullshit there, right? DC is a shithole.
It's the Trump retribution tour.
The Trump retribution tour. It's got a ring to it. And truth be told, from the fucking heart, if the media and other politicians and other judges, went after everybody with the strength in which they've gone after Trump, I'd be all for it. And impeach him, and we'll go on to the next. If you've only got a fucking hard on for Trump, you can shut all the fucking way up. Every fucking thing Trump has ever done, there is not another fucking president in the last at least 6 of them that haven't been equally, if not leaps and bounds, more crooked than Trump's ever been. So, save me the fucking righteousness.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And to add another layer to that, it's white supremacy in action.
Yo, this dude.
Primarily targeting black neighborhoods, you know.
Like, that's where they need to be. That's where most of the violent crime is happening. So therefore, if and when we up and choose to fucking try and fight crime in this goddamn country, we will, in fact, be targeting the black community. It's not because they're black. It's because that's where all the fucking crime is happening.
Just more over policing of black neighborhoods. I completely agree with you. And plus, let's also call it what it is. This is one massive fucking distraction from those Epstein files. He wants everybody to forget about that shit.
If you go back and look at all my videos, I don't think I've ever said the name Epstein once. Ever. When this very first started, in my head, at least, the way I've always kind of seen the world, we will never get the truth of that. It'll never happen. Once you started hearing the names that were involved in it, you will never get the truth of that. Now, do I think Trump making all the promises that he made about releasing it and then not? Because he definitely made a lot of fuss about it. And when you don't do it, it only kind of reinforces these clowns. Anyway, because one thing I love to do when I hear a lot of lefties talking about Epstein and Epstein files, I actually enjoy this thoroughly, to go back even 6 months into some of these people's Twitter profiles, YouTube channels, whatever. Any fucking social media a lot of these people have. I love going back just 6 months and seeing how many times the name Epstein has ever been named. 99 out of 100 of them, 6 months ago, had never said the name Epstein. Are now talking about Epstein because Trump. And they've gotten their new talking points of Trump is now a pedo. The beauty of this, I gotta find out who this motherfucker even is. Jolly Good Ginger. Jolly Good Ginger. You know, one thing I've learned over the course of my long ass fucking honky life here, anybody who tells you that they're good usually isn't. Not always, but more times than not. The person who tells you they're a good person is usually the furthest thing from it. Because I go on old Jolly Good Ginger's here page here, I had to give you just a piece of what type of videos Jolly Good Ginger be making. I'm gonna let it ride. It's about 1.5 minutes long.
My point is, I'm so sick and tired of black. This is Black History Month. Why don't we have a White History Month? I agree with you. Wait, what? I agree. Let's have a White History Month. In fact, let's start right now. Okay. 1676. But after we colonized America and stole land from the indigenous people, for the next century and a half, chattel slavery was based primarily around race, and it started from the transatlantic slave trade. This idea is called white supremacy, where we create this mythology of a race that's superior than other races. In 1860, the idea of abolishing slavery was becoming more popular, and white people didn't like that. Now, after the Civil War ended in 1865, white people didn't just give up their white supremacy. No, they then began a series of things called Jim Crow laws. Brown versus Board of Education desegregated schooling. Of course, white people were not happy about that. In 1964, the Civil Rights Act was passed, which was supposed to provide equality across the races. Of course, white people were pissed about that. Now, slow down there, Cletus. I haven't talked about all the bad things yet. This is just the overview. We haven't even got to gentrification, redlining, legacy admissions, the war on drugs, the FBI infiltration of black liberation movements. The white race has a very long history of oppressing and marginalizing black and brown people. White people have invented things, but do you know how many inventions white people stole from black people? White people fought to free black people in the Civil War. Wrong. This is a talking point that was started by the United Daughters of the Confederacy in the early 20th century, that white people fought to free black people in the Civil War. But the problem is you cannot simultaneously be the cure and the disease. So basically what you're saying is I should just be ashamed to be white because we ain't never done anything and we ain't worth a shit. What you're feeling is a natural reaction to your entire worldview being challenged. White fragility and white rage is very well documented. The main thing I want you to take away from today's class is that white race was created for white supremacy. So if that's how the white race began, and that's how the white race has continued to be used for the last 200 plus years, then I'm not telling you there's no good thing that white people haven't done. That's just you trying to avoid the accountability of what our ancestors truly did.
Wow. He's one of the good ones. Holy fucking mother of God. Who's got the whole script down? What you're
feeling is a natural reaction to your entire worldview being challenged. White fragility.
White fragility. Whew. Okay, so now we've at least got the groundwork for the two people we're dealing with here. Michael Fanone, clown fucking disrespecting, and jolly good fucking cornball here. Fucking what you're feeling is the white fragility and your beliefs being challenged.
Now, let me ask you this. I know you have friends still in the department. Curious, what are the rumblings you're hearing from the Metro Police?
I mean, people are pissed off. I mean, this whole thing is just an absolute fucking circus. When you really get down to it, these guys don't want to be working past 2 p.m. They don't want to have their days off canceled. Now you're coming in, guys are working 12 plus hour shifts. Their fucking days off are canceled in the middle of the summer. These are fucking, weekend warriors. And you're ripping them away from their full-time jobs, from their homes during, the last week of summer vacation for bullshit. Bullshit.
Summer is just another one of the 4 seasons of the fucking year, folks. The adults in this conversation, not the people who have the mentalities of 15-year-olds. I can't be messing up the last week of my summer here, me being a cop and shit, me being in the National Guard, trying to fulfill these fucking roles up. This is the actual bullshit of it. DC is a fucking mess. They don't give a fuck to begin with. I mean, like, Yo's a cop, apparently. Yo was a cop, apparently, for 20 fucking years. The absolute shit show that is DC. Arguably, the one-for-one that is DC. This could be like the one textbook example of where this may not be out of the realm of not being a tyrant type shit. Federal fucking property, almost entirely. District that is Columbia. Save me all the bullshit about fucking how cops want to enjoy their summer, bro. Let's figure this shit out. Because on the other hand, you all really don't. And that's fucking wild coming from a cop.
Nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. Everyone is willing to make these sacrifices if there's a real reason behind it.
I wonder if you could say the same for just about everybody in the Army or a Marine, the Navy, who signed up to protect their country and end up in fucking the Ukraine. Once you sign up for this shit, you're there to be told what to do. If you didn't want to do it, you shouldn't have signed up. And if you don't want to do it, you need to tell like your commander, like, hey man, my heart's not in it and you might want to get me out of here because I'm not down to help. I don't know. I really don't know how you do fix that. But that's not a very valid argument to get in the call when you've signed up to be there for the call. So fucking cope.
But
no, listen, I can't stress enough, and I'm glad you're stressing it. It is for fucking nothing. I mean, this is the thing that we gotta beat in people's head. Like,
I can see it's all been beat into your big fucking dome. Jolly fucking whoever the fuck your name is. You always had the script beat in for sure. He fucking recited it on that White History Month video he made.
What you're feeling is a natural reaction to your entire worldview being challenged. White fragility.
We need to be beating the reality of what's going on in people's heads. Stop with this like dream world where like it's not bad if people tell me it isn't. Motherfuckers don't live in it or have to deal with it, so therefore it isn't a problem. Anybody who says opposite, probably Trump. Probably MAGA.
No matter how much these motherfuckers try to control the narrative that there's crime in DC.
Spoken like a true bubbled fucking big clown. Anytime I see somebody doing that, like I immediately just
It's fucking out of control.
there's crime everywhere. There's crime everywhere.
Who tries to stop crime when it's everywhere? Stop caring, guys. You get how that works in lefty land? There is no crime in DC, but the crime is everywhere.
Correct. There's no need for federal troops and National Guard. Period. It's really disrespectful to both law enforcement and military to put them on this type of overtime schedule for a giant nothing burger.
Says a motherfucker who looks like he eats a lot of fucking burgers. If it was a real burger, my man, he'd be all over it. He'd want nothing but. You two clowns are a disrespect to law enforcement and National Guard and the armed forces. It's much more respect to law enforcement, National Guard, that actually want to make a difference, want to clean up the streets, want to prevent potentially crimes, is far more respectful than these two clowns. Big Jolly Yo's obviously an ex-vet, crying ass Yo who bitched the whole time about January fucking 6th. Bro, like they both have been in this world of law enforcement and armed services. They should be used for something else. We should be using them to send to other countries, under countries to impose, democracy that aren't us. Don't worry about us, guys. We'll take care of it. Just put us back in power. We'll make sure everything gets settled in. The no crime. but the crime everywhere.
It's a really good
Not to
point.
mention the fact that, Jolly, who's paying for all of this? The American
Bingo.
fucking taxpayer.
You don't have a problem with spending tax dollars unless it's with something you don't want. Hey man, that's tax dollars, that's tax money, us taxpayers gotta pay that. Of course we do, bro. We pay for all sorts of shit half of us don't care for. That's unfortunately the way that fucking works. Until I guess we get some volunteers that are ready to go out there and clean the streets up, I guess you could just shut all the way up.
Yeah, I watched some of the highlights from the fucking right-wing, media machine, and they were talking about, there's like a bazillion% decrease in crime in Washington, D.C. over the past 24 hours. Well, of course there is, you stupid motherfuckers. There's 4 cops on every fucking street corner.
Wait, so you stupid motherfucker, does that mean that it's working? Is that what that means? Is that the no crime has been supposedly stopped because we've now put cops out there to do this shit? But we're the stupid motherfuckers for now recognizing that the crime has officially been slowed down, at least for the time being, because we're actually showing some force, but there isn't crime. But the crime that was happening is now not happening because of the changes that we made. You get it? You get it?
But guess what? I don't want to live in a country where that's the case.
I don't either. That's like the beauty of all this is I don't either. But, motherfucker, I also don't want to live in a world where crime is rampant. We've got Democrat fucking run cities like DC that fucking let all these people out and hold nobody responsible for it. I would take the fucking world, God forbid, with more cops on every fucking street, stopping actual fucking crime. I'm not talking about just dumb shit. I'm talking about in parts of the country where motherfuckers are shooting, killing, robbing, and fucking maiming every day, every hour of every fucking day. I'd take that over the opposite. I can tell bro, that's like the wildest thing about this is that Yo was supposedly a cop for 20 years, in DC for 20 years, and for him to have this take, that's wild. That's that shows you especially how big a partisan clown this dude really is. He is completely in the clouds, in denial, in delusion, and he's dangerous. And he will advocate for a world where you get hurt and nothing should be done about it.
And B, it's not sustainable. And then when you do resort back to what we were doing previously, crime is just going to fucking go back up.
Back to what we were doing previously, meaning nothing. Then the crime that's not crime, that isn't there, will then go up. Bro, I'm trying to tell you, bro, a lefty in the next sentence have something so different, so opposite, to the next sentence, go back to the original opposite. It's remarkable. There's no crime, but they're cleaning up the crime, but you've got now so many cops out that slowed down the crime, but then when we go back to what we were doing before, the crime, folks, stay with me, it'll go back up.
You were at January 6th, you were attacked by the mob, and Donald Trump deflected all the fucking responsibility for calling the guard in then.
I think the National Guard should have been called in. That day, that morning, the day before, whatever it was, whoever should have called them in, should have called them in. Now, with that said, whether Trump did it that day or not, does not in turn shadow every decision the man makes going forward. That's not the way that works. You don't hold that standard to anybody you agree with. So, with that, shut all the way up. You just wonder what world these people even want. It would be complete platitudes and slogans. Yo, you got it. You got the keys. Tell us how to live. You figure it all out. It would be fucking slogans. And as fucking people are getting eaten alive, they would just get more slogans told to them. They could recite the script really well. Case in point, old Jolly Green Clown here. In actual solutions, in actual fixing something, these ain't the guys.
But now he just calls the guard in on, like you said, a giant nothing burger.
Bro, just repeat it. Nothing burger, nothing burger. But they stopped the crime. But, there is no crime, but nothing burger. It's fucking bullshit. It's nothing burger. They ain't stopped the crime because there is no crime, but they stopped the crime. And the crime will go back up once they stop doing what they're doing.
On a personal level, your feelings on that?
Disrespecting fucking, bro, he's a clown. He's a fucking clown.
I mean, again, it's just another example of the, betrayal, the personal betrayal of this administration.
If that's what he's doing, what is it you're doing, Michael Fanone? If that's truly what Trump is doing here is a betrayal, what do you call what you're doing?
Towards not just me, but all of my colleagues that were there at the Capitol that day. Donald Trump refused and ignored pleas to call up the National Guard on January 6th. and he didn't give a shit.
Bro, like, I'm so torn on January 6th. On one hand, bro, it was disgusting, and a lot of people did a lot of real fucked up shit that day. Entirely. Yet, wasn't an actual fucking insurrection. If you really think that's what that was, you're not paying attention. Like, that was a complete buffoon riot. A big chunk of people actually hurt people, and they should all be held responsible, but they should also follow every law that's ever been made of how we do trials, how we do hearings. Bro, there's a handful of them, bro, that were locked up for fucking a year or two with no charges, no hearings, put in the basement of the jail while they figured out what to do with these people. They arrested people who weren't even there that day. January 6th is over, folks. Let it go. Old clown at the beginning of this, acting like he's fighting back tears 3 years later, talking about it. You've apparently never been through a bad thing in your fucking life if that's what makes you want to cry 3 fucking years later. Let January 6th go, people. Let it go.
You know, it's a reaction to this kid, fucking Big Balls, whatever the hell his name is. You know,
kid got beat up. Fuck him, right? He ain't on our political team. Fuck him. Fuck him.
He's out at 3 o'clock in the morning. He gets his ass kicked by 2 15-year-olds.
Says the ex-cop. Says the cop who was supposedly in a position to serve and protect his community. Got his ass kicked by 2 15-year-olds. Just two youths. Just two youths in the place where no crime is happening.
And now all of a sudden, you know, because he's a Trump guy, he's a Doge guy, we have this gross overreaction to a very isolated incident.
Very isolated incident. You're a liar. They've been fixing these numbers forever. Trying to show a decline in fucking crime. It's not fucking happening. I don't give a fuck if murders were cut in 2/3 this year or not. It's a terribly violent fucking city. 90% of it. If you don't believe me, go ride a bike around that bitch. I'll talk about the Smithsonian, National Monument, or the White House. Take a little trip down Southeast DC. Hang out there for an hour or two. Go try and get some lunch down there. Let me know how it works out for you. Tell me all about the no crime in fucking DC, won't you?
It's absurd. Also going to see fatigue and exhaustion.
I didn't say it. Matt Fanone here did. He said it. Fatigue and exhaustion. Not Pillsbury. Pillsbury didn't say that. Fanone said it. Fatigue and exhaustion.
On behalf of, you know, the officers that are involved, you know, in this fucking circus. And I think it's going to lead to resignations.
Oh, wow.
The Metropolitan Police Department has been hemorrhaging officers really ever since January 6th.
Clown, they were hemorrhaging officers fucking before January 6th. It's hard for most of the cities in this country because the DAs don't protect them, lock them up even in cases where they did everything right that they could have done, and they'll get no help. They'll get prosecuted, potentially sent to prison for making one fucking split bad decision in a heated moment where almost everybody who watched the fucking body cam of it happening probably would have done 100 things worse if put in that situation, in that fucking moment. January 6th is not some big change in how police departments fucking recruit police officers or not. DC has been a shithole for a real long time. Probably half of the fucking police force is probably crookeder than shit. Making real good livings, probably ripping off fucking crack dealers. You talk like you don't have the slightest idea what the fuck you're talking about, yet you were a cop for 20 years. How can an ex-con have a better picture, clearer idea what's going on and what's what versus the 20-year fucking veteran? Like, that's how big a mess we're in, folks. When I can see it clearer than they can, we're in a fucking mess.
And I see this as, you know, just another example of misuse of these officers.
Mr. 20-year vet, what should they be doing, huh? If not fighting fucking crime?
Who are already tired and worn the fuck out just from their regular job. I see guys packing it up. And I do talk to guys, Jolly, that are like, I don't want anything to do with this. I don't want anything to fucking do with this. I don't want to be involved in this. I don't want to be a part of it. And, you know, my message to them always is just fucking quit. You know, trust me, when it comes to a career in law enforcement, the grass is always greener on the other side. Believe me.
Quit. Yeah, fucking quit.
It's just fucking quit. You know, trust me, it will
fucking quit. Hey, cop that signed up to fucking be a cop to hopefully serve, protect, and help the community, quit. Go start a podcast like Clown Mike Fanone here. Go do the fucking MSNBC tour for the next 4 years. Talk about how much you hate Trump. I'm sure that grass will be much greener on the other side. My dude fucking told him to quit. An ex-cop told cops to fucking quit. I don't know, folks. When the ex-con is hoping that we get more cops, better cops, good cops to go out and stop crime. And when the ex-cop is telling cops to quit because their summer shifts were cut short because they need you to go out there and fight some fucking crime. We in trouble. The disrespect.